y'all, welcome to Cooking Revelations. My name's Michelle. Here we're gonna cook and review recipes so I can hopefully make your dinner time just a little less stressful for everybody involved. So come along and let's see what the recipe of the day is gonna be. All right, y'all, so tonight I need quick and simple. Me and my husband have a work function we need to go to, so I need to be able to feed my children something good, something I know they're gonna eat, but it's not gonna be too much stress on me. So we're gonna make a new version of chicken and biscuits. You guys, I discovered this somewhere online about 2-3 years ago, and my husband asks for this, I mean, at least once a week. I have to kind of put him on a limit of how much we can have of this. So what I've got here is just 2 drumsticks and 2 thighs that I roasted up. I seasoned it with salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and also this seasoning here. It's the salt-free dash flavorful onion and herb. I love this stuff. And then also the Kinder's Buttery Steakhouse. So good. These are delicious on their own, but I really love to combine them with chicken. My no-peak chicken, any kind of roast chicken I make. I put it in my seasoning blend for my fried chicken, my chicken fingers. It just really helps amp up that flavor with the rotisserie chicken. And I've just got some boxed red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuit mix. If you've ever been to a Red Lobster, you know how delicious these things are. So they also, fun fact, have a gluten-free version. So anybody who might have gluten sensitivities, intolerances, or anything like that, you can enjoy this too. All right, so first things first, we're gonna go ahead and put the chicken and the biscuits to the side, and we're gonna go ahead and get started on this delicious chicken. All right, y'all. So we've got the chicken and the biscuit mix put aside. So we're gonna go ahead and start on this delicious chicken filling. So this chicken filling just comes from the Pillsbury chicken pot pie recipe. It makes a delicious pot pie as well. So if you'd like me to make a video on that, you know what to do. So right over here, I'm gonna make my own chicken broth. I found this better than bouillon in my pantry. I don't know how long it's been there. It's not expired, so I'm assuming it's gonna be okay, but we're gonna give it a try. So what I'm gonna need for the actual filling is 1/3 cup of butter, 1/3 cup of onions. Now I'm using this purple one that I already had in my fridge chopped up from another recipe. We don't waste food around here. And let me put in an unsponsored plug. This thing is amazing. Chops vegetables perfectly all the time. They have a big and a small attachment. I can't find my small attachment because my kids lose my dishes. So that's the big attachment. Find it on Amazon. Plenty of other options to look at. Pick you one up. We've got 1/2 cup of milk and 1/3 cup of flour. Now this broth is 1/3 cup of chicken broth is what you're gonna need. And let me just say, when I was chopping up onions, I wanna tell you guys, all of my scraps, I freeze. If I'm not feeding to my chickens, I can make vegetable broth out of this, or better yet, chicken broth, which I might actually do because I have a frozen carcass in my freezer from a leftover dinner. And it's just so great when you can take things from other past dinners, just freeze them, and you can make a whole new dinner out of it. You can make a whole new ingredient for a dinner out of it, like chicken broth. When you make enough of it, you freeze it, and anytime you have a sore throat, just not feeling good, you want to go ahead and have a little chicken noodle soup, it's all ready for you. So my water's boiling over here. Let me grab just a big tablespoon here. I'm just gonna put a big dollop in there. It does say 1 teaspoon equals 1 cube or 1 8-ounce can. But I mean, has anyone complained that it tastes like too much chicken broth? We'll see. All right, so I've got that in there. I'm just gonna stir it. And very quickly, this is nice. It melts very, very quickly and very nicely. It's not clumpy. Yes. Better than bouillon. I recommend. And I've also seen commercials where they have like a lot of different flavors for like stir fries, things like that. So worth a shot. All right, we'll put the chicken broth to the side, and we're gonna go ahead and get started on our chicken filling. So what we're gonna do is melt this 1/3 cup of butter. Put it on low. Low and slow is the name of the game today. So what that's gonna do is prevent us from burning the roux that we're gonna make, which is just flour and fats. But if we burn it, it's gonna taste burnt. So we're gonna melt our butter low and slow. And this right here is the perfect time. Get your kids in the shower. That's what I do. When I'm cooking all this, I mean, we've got 15 minutes. Hey, go, shower, come on. So that way we're ready for bed. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna let this melt. I'm gonna add my 1/3 cup of flour, and I'll be right back. All right, y'all, we're back. I've got the onions cooking. They've been cooking for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. They're starting to get real soft, starting to kind of lose that purpley color. So this is great. So what we're gonna wanna do is turn our oven or our stove top down and slowly add in this flour. If you add in too much too quickly, like I just did, you might get some lumps and bumps. But you know, we just roll with whatever happens in this kitchen. So make this beautiful roux. All right, and this is gonna get a little thicker. Just kind of let it cook for just a couple minutes. We're gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper to this. I don't measure my seasonings at all, really, unless I feel it's important to. Salt slowly and build up is my advice on that one. And sorry, someone hid my pepper. And we like pepper, so we like to add a nice big pinchful. All right, so we'll give this a stir, and now we're gonna add, I just sprayed my kitchen with this roux. Okay, we're gonna add the broth. So we're gonna wanna add this slowly. So we want this to blend nicely. We want this to have a nice, smooth, uniform, thick consistency. Just like this. Add a little more. I like to add it slowly, I guess however you prefer it. It just helps me get all of the lumps and the bumps out that I don't want. You don't want, I mean, who wants to eat clumps of flour, to be perfectly honest with you? Not me. So we've got this broth. Ooh, it's nice and thick. All right, put the rest of that in there. All right. So we've got our broth very nicely incorporated into here, and now we're gonna slowly add our milk. So it's just the same process as with the broth. Start out low, start out slow, just get it all incorporated. Just keep stirring and keep going, and it's gonna really kind of be a thick putty once everything is, or a thick soup is what I should say, when everything's combined. Looking good, smelling good. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and let this simmer low for just a couple minutes, get it nice and thick and bubbly, and we're gonna go over and we're gonna start making the biscuits. All right, we've got our roux over here getting nice and thick and bubbly. I just gave it a taste test, and oh my, it is creamy. The onion flavor, the caramelized onion flavor, delicious. Perfect amount of salt and pepper. So we're gonna let that go, and we're gonna go ahead and make our Cheddar Bay biscuits. So I've just got the Cheddar Bay mixture here in my bowl. I'm gonna add a third of a cup water. Okay. And cheese. So you're gonna want a half a cup of cheese, but I don't measure my cheese. I just measure until I like say that's enough to myself, honestly. Sorry guys, I forgot my whisk. So let's go ahead and whisk this up. Add some water in there. So we're just gonna set this to the side. We're not gonna do anything with it yet. This is actually gonna be put on top of the chicken filling that we're making in our casserole dish. So this is pretty much everything to do with this now. This is the seasoning pack. You just melt this with a third of a cup of butter, or fourth of a cup of butter, sorry, fourth of a cup of butter. And then you drizzle it on top of the biscuits after everything's cooked. So we can go ahead and put this aside too. We're not gonna need to use this right now. So let's go on back, check on our roux, get our chicken in there, and finish everything up. All right, we're back. So this is nice and thick. You just want a very nice, thick consistency that'll coat your spoon. Now to me, roux aren't usually tasteful. It's really just flour and butter or oil. But this has the onions and the salt and the pepper and the butter that we fried the onions in, and it's so good. It's rich. It's rich. It's gonna sit on them hips, but it's gonna be delicious. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add our chicken that we shredded earlier right into here. Perfect. And then I just have a regular bag of mixed vegetables that I bought at my local grocery store, and I'm just gonna add that right in there as well. Switch out, and just get everything stirred up. Lost a pea. Sorry y'all, if I drop something on my floor, probably not my floor. Yeah, probably not my floor, because I have a cat and a dog and 3 kids and a husband, and as much as I try, my floors are not always the cleanest. But if something falls on my counter, pretty okay with throwing it back in my food. I do clean my counters regularly. Oh my goodness, look how everything is coated in that nice gravy roux we made. Now if you want to add any other seasonings to this to make it spicier, or garlic powder, onion powder, you're more than welcome to. I'm gonna leave it as is with just that salt and pepper. And I'm gonna turn the heat up just a little bit, and I'm just gonna kind of let everything heat through, get this mixture nice and warm. I've already got my oven set to 425. So let's let this warm up. When we come back, I'm gonna go ahead and get this in my casserole dish, get my biscuits on top, and put it in the oven. All right, y'all. So I've got my chicken mixture here in my lovely Pioneer casserole dish. And I've just been putting the biscuits right on top, big spoonfuls, just right across. This is a tried and true in my house. My family fights over this stuff. And you can keep them as biscuits, or, you know, spread it around, make it a topping. Cover the whole thing. So we're gonna do that.
Fight over what?
It won't take as long to cook this way, which is great. So we're gonna pop this in an oven that's set to 425. I know on the box it says like 16 minutes or something, but I just find, at least with my oven, that's not enough time. So I have to start at about 20 minutes, and then I just make sure everything's golden brown, biscuits aren't doughy, everything's coming out clean. So it's just more of a kind of watch them. So we're gonna put these in the oven, and while we do that, I'm gonna show you how to make the topping. So while that's cooking, you're gonna wanna take 1/4 cup of butter and just put it really in anything that's microwave safe and that you can melt the butter in. And then this is just the pack of seasonings. Once you've got your butter nice and melted, stir this in, put it to the side until the biscuits are done. So I'm gonna go ahead and let everything cook, let everything get together, let everything get nice and hot and bubbly, and then when we come back, I'll be sitting down and we can eat together. Okay, so my casserole cooked for about 20 minutes. So like I said, really good starting off point. And then just watching them, they're nice and crispy and golden brown and came out clean on a toothpick. So now all we're gonna wanna do is take that melted butter and the seasonings, and I'm lazy, so I just pour this right on top. I don't try and evenly distribute it. And then I take my handy dandy friend. All right, let's go ahead and let this cool for a couple of minutes and come together. I'm gonna plate it up and we're gonna go eat together. All right, we've got our plate of chicken and biscuits, and it is piping hot still. And it's so creamy and delicious. So first, I wanna take a bite of this biscuit. Guys, if you've ever had Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits, then you know. You just know what I am tasting right now. It is so nice and soft and pillowy, but it's crunchy and it's garlicky and it's buttery. So good. Let's have a taste of this chicken. Get a small piece. I think with a recipe like this, dark meat is the way to go. It just holds its tenderness better. I think chicken breast might kind of get a little too dry. And now you know, we're gonna try everything. There's no wonder why this was a family favorite. It's just so comforting. Like, this would be a great meal to eat on a cold evening. It is so good. And it is so loved in my house that my husband requested I make it before a surgical procedure I was gonna have, because I couldn't cook. I was out, like, strict mandatory 1 week bed rest. And so I cooked this. That man sat by me in bed every night eating a portion of this and did not complain once that he had to eat the same meal a whole week in a row. So good. Give it a try. If there's anything you'd like to see me review next, go ahead and drop me a comment. Subscribe, like, turn on your notifications so you never miss a video. Till next time, bye.